To ma być najważniejszy szczyt NATO od czasów
This is supposed to
zimnej
be the
wojny.
most
Kraje
important NATO
członkowskie
summit
Paktu
since the Cold
Północnoatlantyckiego
War.
zobowiązały
The
się
member countries of the North
wydawać
Atlantic Treaty
5%
Organization
swojego
have
PKB
committed to
na
spending
obronność.
5% of
Brzmi,
their
jakby
GDP
to
on
było bardzo
defense.
wiele.
It
Ale
sounds like a
w obliczu
lot, but in the face of the
zagrożeń
threat of
i ze
war from
strony
first
Rosji,
Russia
i
and
ze
second the
strony
Middle East,
Bliskiego
it
Wschodu,
is very
to
little.
bardzo
Will NATO member
niewiele.
countries
Pytanie,
actually
czy
be
w
able to spend that
rzeczywistości
much?
kraje,
Today, I took a
członkowskie
closer
Paktu
look. This is both one of the most important and one of the shortest NATO summits in history. This does not mean that the atmosphere is idyllic. On the contrary, the schedule is tight, and the West is trembling mainly in the face of conflict in Ukraine and the Middle East. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that both Israel and Iran had violated the truce he had announced a few hours earlier. The American leader said he was disappointed with both countries, especially Israel.
All I do is play both sides. I'm going now, as you know, to NATO. Some of you are going with me, and I think it's going to be successful. We'll see. I'll let you know.
But that's not all. The West also has reason to fear Donald Trump. However, European allies need not worry about the United States' commitment to NATO, assured Mark Rutte, head of the military alliance.
My message to my European colleagues is stop worrying so much. Start to make sure that you get investment plans done, that you get industrial base up and running, that the support for Ukraine remains at a high level. Luckily, it is still today. I mean, this is what you should work on, and stop running around being worried about the U.S. They're with us.
The situation in Ukraine remains tense, and the country continues to appeal for support.
We still
need air defense, and we still have support in this area from our partners, and we really hope for its continuation, as well as co-production and significant military support. This NATO summit, as all analysts emphasize, is crucial for global security. This year's NATO summit is of fundamental importance for the defense of the entire alliance, especially for the eastern flank. Let us remember that we have a destabilized world. There are many military conflicts, and everything is being decided by force. It is particularly important to ensure Poland's security. NATO's eastern flank should be especially strong in the face of the threat posed by Russia, which continues to attack Ukraine. The military presence of allies in Poland is something we cannot ignore. It is a milestone for Polish defense and security, with forces from the US, the UK, and other NATO countries stationed in Poland as part of the enhanced forward presence. This creates a real deterrent against potential threats. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization's response is to increase defense spending, which until recently was not being implemented at the level of 2% of GDP. Now there are more threats and more expenses. During the Cold War, when Russian aggression threatened Europe and the world, NATO countries spent 3%, and it proved effective. Thanks to this, there was no open war. Thanks to this, the Soviet Union was actually defeated, and we need to return to these experiences. Unfortunately, today we need to increase defense spending everywhere, because Russian imperialism is back. There is no doubt about that. It was Polish President Duda who, during one of his visits to the U.S., convinced American congressmen that it was worth paying for equipment and modernization of the army. In other words, for security. Failure to meet this condition as soon as possible threatens the security of the alliance. We are an example of a loyal ally, a model ally, as our partners from the United States say, which already today declares and has included in its budget expenditures of around 5%. Poland, seeing a real threat, is spending more. It remains a model for other NATO member states, which, not facing an aggressor directly, are putting military spending on the back burner. It was not easy, but we've got them all signed onto 5%. There is a chance that this NATO summit will change that.